What's up, Roger Report fam? Get ready for a whirlwind of NFL action because we're diving headfirst into the biggest stories of the week. First up, Aaron Rodgers is opening up about those critical moments in the Steelers' Week 1 win, admitting that a split-second hesitation with DK Metcalf nearly cost Pittsburgh the game against the New York Jets. He's revealing the internal battle and the missed chances that had him questioning his decisions, and we've got all the details on why that moment was so crucial for the Steelers' chemistry with their new star receiver. You won't want to miss this inside look. Next, we're cutting through the noise to dissect the narrative around Aaron Rodgers and his return to New York. Was it revenge, or just a simple parting of ways? We're exploring the real reasons behind his departure from the Jets and whether Rodgers was truly the victim in this situation, or if he was the one calling the shots. Get ready for an unfiltered take on this explosive storyline. Then, we're gearing up for the Pittsburgh Steelers' massive home opener as they clash with the Seattle Seahawks. This is more than just a game. It's Aaron Rodgers' first chance to play in front of the home crowd after a thrilling Week 1 victory. We'll break down the betting odds, the predictions, and what you need to know about this highly anticipated matchup, including key player matchups and injury updates that could swing the game. And finally, we're zeroing in on the ultimate X factor for the Steelers in their game against the Seahawks, none other than quarterback Aaron Rodgers himself. We'll analyze why his performance is so critical for Pittsburgh's success, especially given the team's offensive struggles. Can Rodgers carry the load again, or will other aspects of the Steelers' game need to step up? Stick around for all the answers and analysis. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. Missed opportunities and growing pains. Aaron Rodgers on that DK Metcalf moment. The Pittsburgh Steelers kicked off their season with a nail-biting 34-32 victory over the New York Jets, but the win was far from a comfortable cruise. In the dying minutes of the game, a crucial opportunity presented itself for quarterback Aaron Rodgers to connect with DK Metcalf for what could have been a game-sealing play. However, Rodgers hesitated, opting not to throw, and the drive ultimately stalled, leaving the Steelers to secure the win with a late field goal. This moment, however, has Rodgers reflecting on his decision-making and the need to involve his new star receiver more. Speaking candidly after the game, Rodgers didn't shy away from his internal conflict. "I've got to get him more opportunities," he admitted. "I had a chance to probably throw to him down the middle on 3rd and 10 with about 6 minutes left in the game. Just got to trust it, let it go, got to get him involved more. Got to get more targets for DK." Metcalf, acquired to provide explosive plays and stretch the field, recorded 4 catches for 83 yards, respectable numbers, but not the dominant impact many anticipated. The game film revealed several instances where Metcalf had separation, including a key 3rd and 15 where Rodgers was sacked after holding the ball too long, and a play prior where Metcalf was wide open across the middle, but Rodgers forced an outside throw that nearly resulted in an interception. Rodgers, known for his uncanny ability to trust his instincts and throw to anticipated spots, seemed to be experiencing an uncharacteristic timing issue in his first significant outing with Metcalf. The Steelers invested heavily in their receiving core, bringing in multiple weapons to complement Metcalf, and Rodgers acknowledged the contributions of his new teammates. "I thought we got a lot of great production out of our new guys," he said. "I think you look at some of the guys we brought in, they all played really physically tough. DK, Jonnu, and Jalen, especially. I've just to give those guys more opportunities." This emphasis on explosiveness and getting the ball to playmakers like Metcalf is central to Pittsburgh's offensive identity, but early struggles in timing and trust could hamper their ambitions in a competitive AFC North. Fans and analysts are dissecting these early season moments, debating whether this is a sign of growing pains for a new connection or a deeper issue with Rodgers' decision-making. The pressure is on for this Steelers offense to gel quickly. Don't go anywhere, because the story behind Aaron Rodgers' exit from New York is even more explosive than you think. And coming up, we're previewing the Steelers' massive home opener against the Seattle Seahawks. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, victim or victor, unpacking the departure. The narrative surrounding Aaron Rodgers' recent victory over the New York Jets has been framed by some as a tale of revenge. But the question remains, Was this truly about settling a score, or simply the natural conclusion of a partnership that ran its course? We're diving deep into the circumstances of Rodgers' departure from New York to uncover the truth. Rodgers' exit from the Jets, which involved a brief meeting after flying from California, has been characterized by some as the team wasting his time. However, one must consider that any method of being informed of a release, whether in person or over the phone, could be perceived as disrespectful. The core issue, as highlighted in an article by The Athletic, wasn't that the Jets deemed Rodgers not good enough, but rather a strategic shift following the hiring of head coach Aaron Glenn. Glenn, embarking on his first head coaching role, sought a fresh start at quarterback and felt no obligation to continue an experiment that had yielded poor results, especially after Rodgers' season-ending injury in 2023. The Jets' subsequent 5-12 record in 2024, coupled with the decision to start the younger Justin Fields, 26, over the 41-year-old Rodgers, signifies a clear move towards the future and an assertion of Glenn's authority. Rodgers' tenure with the Jets was marked by significant influence, including his role in bringing in offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett and several former Green Bay teammates, like Alan Lazard, who remained on the payroll despite being inactive. Rodgers' absence from mandatory minicamp for a trip to Egypt further fueled perceptions of his controlling influence. During his time with the Jets, Rodgers was paid $75 million and contributed to only 5 wins, leading many to believe he had a more detrimental impact on the team than vice versa. While the Jets have a documented history of struggles, Rodgers was unable to alter their fortunes. Rodgers has since adopted a team-first demeanor with the Steelers, which is commendable. However, the true test of his conduct will emerge if the Steelers begin to struggle. The perception of Rodgers as a victim in his Jets' departure is being challenged, with evidence suggesting he was not wronged by the organization. Will Aaron Rodgers' home debut live up to the hype? We've got the full breakdown of the Steelers' home opener. And later, we're revealing the single player who could decide the Steelers' fate against the Seahawks. Steelers versus Seahawks, home opener showdown and betting lines. The Pittsburgh Steelers are set to host the Seattle Seahawks in their highly anticipated first home game of the 2025 NFL season, riding a wave of momentum from Aaron Rodgers' Week 1 debut victory over the New York Jets. The Seahawks, meanwhile, are seeking their first win after a narrow 17-13 defeat to the San Francisco 49ers. The action kicks off at Acrisure Stadium at 1 p.m. ET, with the Steelers opening as 3-point favorites according to the latest consensus odds. The over-under for the total points scored is set at 40.5. For those looking to place a wager, the Steelers are listed at -152 on the moneyline, while the Seahawks are underdogs at +128. Before placing any bets, it's crucial to consult the expert picks from the Sportsline projection model. New users can take advantage of offers like $200 in bonus bets from DraftKings Sportsbook with a qualifying deposit. Rodgers, in his Steelers debut, exceeded expectations, throwing for 244 yards and 4 touchdowns. He connected with DK Metcalf for 83 yards, and Metcalf is expected to be particularly motivated facing his former team. A key concern for Pittsburgh heading into this home opener is the health of their defense, which allowed 394 total yards to the Jets and may be without several starters due to injuries. Seattle's defense, however, showcased its strength in Week 1, nearly stifling the 49ers and recording 2 interceptions. The Seahawks' offensive success may rely on running back Zach Charbonnet, who could keep Pittsburgh's defense occupied. While neither team covered the spread in their Week 1 matchups, the Sportsline model favors Pittsburgh to cover in their home opener, projecting them to do so in 53% of simulations. Seahawks coach Mike Macdonald, facing his former division rival Mike Tomlin, will be eager for a strong performance. This game could hinge on whether the Steelers' offense can maintain the explosiveness shown in Week 1. Fans are buzzing about the potential of this Steelers team at home. Stick around, because we're about to reveal the one player whose performance will be absolutely critical for the Steelers' success this Sunday. And after that, get ready for a deep dive into the X factors that will shape the outcome of the Seahawks versus Steelers clash. Aaron Rodgers, the Steelers' undisputed X factor against the Seahawks. As the Pittsburgh Steelers prepare to face the Seattle Seahawks, all eyes are on quarterback Aaron Rodgers, who has been named this week's X Factor. His stellar performance in Week 1 was crucial for the Steelers' victory, but questions linger about the team's overall offensive balance. Rodgers delivered an impressive performance in his Steelers' debut, completing over 70% of his passes for nearly 250 yards and 4 touchdowns. However, the supporting cast struggled, particularly the offensive line, which failed to consistently protect Rodgers or open lanes for the running backs, who managed only 53 rushing yards. This one-dimensional offensive attack raises concerns, especially since the team's run game showed little consistency even in training camp and preseason. With the Seahawks potentially facing a depleted secondary due to injuries to rookie safety Nick Emenwari and the uncertain status of CB Devin Witherspoon, the Steelers might need Rodgers to once again carry the load. Receivers like DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin III, and Roman Wilson could exploit these defensive weaknesses. The Steelers' initial plan was not to rely solely on Rodgers, hoping their defense and running game would provide support. With those units faltering in Week 1, the onus falls heavily on Rodgers to secure another victory. If the Steelers aim for a deep playoff run, these offensive inconsistencies must be addressed. Fans are debating whether Rodgers can continue to mask the team's weaknesses or if other units need to step up significantly. The pressure is on for the Steelers to show more balance. We've analyzed the X factors, but what's the ultimate key to victory for the Steelers? And don't go anywhere. We're breaking down the biggest storylines of the week in our lightning round recap. All right, Roger Report fam, that's a wrap on another action-packed show. We covered Aaron Rodgers admitting hesitation with DK Metcalf nearly cost the Steelers, debated whether Rodgers was a victim in his Jets' departure, previewed the massive Steelers versus Seahawks home opener, and highlighted Rodgers as the Steelers' ultimate X factor. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more exclusive NFL insights, ring the notification bell so you never miss an update, drop a comment with your thoughts on today's stories, and follow us on all social media platforms for behind-the-scenes content. We'll see you next time.